Bonjour, avez-vous un croissant? Non, j'ai une banane. This is another limited edition model from WSI and it's of a truck from France. It is a Volvo FH4 Globetrotter 6x4 and it's coupled up with a Nooteboom MCO-PX 5-axle trailer. It is in the colours of the French company AltéAd. Just look how the knife cuts through the factory seals, and it allows us to open the lid in the time-honoured fashion. In this model there are the two main parts, which is the tractor and the trailer, and also included are some bags of some parts which can be fitted. There is some packaging to remove from the landing legs, but it's very fiddly. It stops the parts being lost in the box, but it would have been better if they'd just been supplied in a bag. Also included with the model is a nice little booklet, and it describes the real trailer and also the model. For the assembly, it's as simple as connecting the tractor and the trailer. And with a quick wrist action, clunk click does the trick. There is one other thing to fit on the model at this stage, and that's marker boards which clip under the gooseneck. We dive straight under the Volvo and we see the usual detailed chassis from WSI. That includes the fuel tank and the exhaust and different tyres front and rear. The Volvo cab is modelled to a high standard with beacon lights and roof aerials. And there's a Convoy Exceptionnel sign at the front. The Volvo grille looks very convincing and there's a realistic number plate. A very nice job has been done applying the AltéAd graphics, and other details include textured steps and nice wheels. Behind the cab there's a cabinet with a nice exhaust. There are maximum speed signs and a spare wheel, as well as the usual coiled lines. There's a textured stepping plate and the wheel arches are plastic, and there are realistic details at the back. The underside of the trailer is really good. There are hoses and small tanks as well as wheel chocks, and the individual wheel sets are all nicely modelled with metal parts. Moving up on top to look at the gooseneck, and there's a spare wheel. And a high point is all of the tiny graphics, including the modelled control console. The surface of the deck is very nice with its replica timbers, and the highlighted bolt heads are a great detail. The rear end of the trailer is busy with detail, and it just looks great. The Volvo is on its back again, and we can see that the steering has a reasonable angle. And the steering only stops when the wheels hit the mud flaps. Out on the test track and the Volvo rolls along quite nicely, although it wants to pull to the right a little. So let's try and make it go left. But no, this Volvo is always right, it's never wrong. Tilting the cab works very nicely, and there we see the Volvo engine underneath. It is multicoloured, so it looks nicely detailed. Moving on to the trailer, and the first thing to check is the steering. And the rear 4 axles are engineered well and they steer proportionally. There is sprung suspension and that works on the rear 3 axles. The front 2 though are a little bit different, and that's because you can keep them raised up in an out of service position. The other thing this trailer is particularly good at is the flexing of the gooseneck, and it has a significant range of movement. While we're here, let's look at the landing legs, and they're held in position with tiny steel pins. And after you've pulled the pin out, you can lower the landing leg and then re-pin it in a lowered position. I don't want to make this review long drawn out, but let's draw out the trailer long. And that gives us some special load carrying ability, in this case a massive beam. Well, I suppose it goes with a massive hand. Let's check the rear steering actually in service. And you can see that the model does a very nice job of turning realistically. Deck posts are included and you can stick them in one at a time, and you might just need to adjust them to get them to stand straight. After that, another option is to use the trailer as a ballast carrier, so let's get it fully loaded up. The other configuration option is to pull out the small extension beams along the edges, and then add on the replica timbers in order to get a wider deck. Once again, WSI has produced a really nice limited edition truck model. This one has great detailing on the tractor and the trailer, and the best part of a model like this is that it reflects the flexibility of the real trailer, so you can decide to pose the model in many different ways. Overall, it's an excellent model.